morning to you, St. Lucia. Time to wake up, and I'm bringing you a very delicious treat today. We are inside of Yolush frozen yogurt right here in Rodney Bay, and I'm here with Tonya. So she's our guide, our expert, and she's gonna take us through this delicious world inside of here. So how are you feeling today, hon?
A bit nervous, but I'm all right. I'm all right.
I think by the time we're done with this, she'll be in a totally good mood. We'll have the good vibes and energy. And of course, I know a lot of people, just like I am, are totally intrigued with the entire concept of Yolush. So what is it all about?
So Yolush comes from yo, as in yogurt, and lush from like luxurious, fun, and healthy. So at Yolush, what we do is try to serve a healthier dessert. Because, okay, if you look at ice cream is 10% fat, and gelato as well is 20% fat, and yogurt is 0% fat. So it's healthier, yeah.
Okay, now you know what I'm liking here. We're getting some fun health facts that I really didn't know, because I saw this and I saw people indulging, and I'm like, Lord, this is gonna go against my healthy lifestyle. But at least this is what it's all about. We're in the know, so I'm happy to hear that.
Right.
So what is going to be the Yolush difference? Now we know it's actually a healthier way or healthier dessert. What is special and different about Yolush here?
What's special is that the customers kind of get to build the dessert, and it's like if you've ever played a game where you build your cake or whatever, it's kind of like that. So we have like gummy bears, fruity toppings like cherries, strawberries. So you kind of get to see your product come from plain to something like, oh my gosh, I did that. I added gummy bears. I added this, and it looks colorful and bright. So yeah, yeah.
And how long has Yolush been in existence for?
Okay, we've been open for 3 months. The owner is actually a St. Lucian born. She lived in the South until she moved to the UK in 2003. Her name is Lilia Shoma Marius.
All right, so we'll take us through the Yolush menu. What is available for persons or customers when they come in? What are their choices?
Okay, so you have a choice of just the frozen yogurt itself, like plain if you'd like. You could have the frozen yogurt either like in a cup, or you could have it in our bubble wrap waffle. Okay, so the bubble wrap waffle is very, very interesting. It originated from Thailand, where the owner visited and she saw what they did. So another reason why she brought it to St. Lucia. The waffle is like, tastes like a pancake, and it's like bubble wrap, sorta. There's indentation, so you could just pull it out and dip it in your frozen yogurt. And yeah, it's an interesting concept. So yeah, you could have the frozen yogurt with that. We also have milkshakes. We invented a cookies and cream milkshake. And we have strawberry banana and other like basic stuff. You could mix blueberries, bananas, mangoes, sometimes golden apple. And we encourage customers to send us their feedback and maybe stuff they'd like to see. Like today we have coconut frozen yogurt. Yeah, so every week we try to have a different, more interesting thing, because we don't want to be boring, like, oh my gosh, strawberry and like vanilla every day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We live on an island, so I don't think there's any excuse for us not to have some difference and variety with the menu. So that sounds great.
Yeah.
Now, something else that I've heard persons talking about, is it froyo rolls, or
Yes.
am I saying it right?
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, now we're at the best part. Okay, so the froyo rolls, we do it on a pan fried machine or pan ice machine. Another thing that our owner took from Thailand. Okay, so we have a liquid mix. You pour it on top, and it freezes. Like you mix in, if you'd like cherries, let's just say, you mash it in there, and you flatten it out on the pan ice machine, and you roll it. So, yeah.
Well, no wonder I've been hearing people fussing about it, because there's a lot of things that are just different that you've not seen down here in St. Lucia before. So I'm really liking that. Now, for you being part of the team, how does it feel to see customers' reactions, especially when they try something that is just so different?
It's a nice, I wouldn't say nice, it's an amazing feeling, because I could say that not one customer has come in here with their face not shocked or excited, like they coming here ready to try something new. So it's a really good feeling.
Great.
Yeah.
And when are your opening hours and what days?
Okay, so we're open all week. Since we just started, we'd like to have our patrons be familiar with us. So we're open from 12 noon to 11 p.m. on weekdays, and on weekends we're 12 noon to 12 p.m.
Right.
Yeah.
Perfect. And I know you all are on social media, so how can people follow you? And of course, if they want to contact as well, if there's a number to do so.
Okay. Social media, it's at Yolush SLU on both Facebook and Instagram, and they could just send us a message, like a DM, or just send us a Facebook message, and we'll reply.
All right,
Yeah.
perfect. And my last question to you before we wrap up: what is your personal favorite off the menu?
It's so hard to pick a favorite. Well, since we have coconut Froyo today, I'm gonna say coconut Froyo with the bubble wrap waffle with Oreos inside of the waffle. Yeah.
Okay. On that note, St. Lucia, we wish you a very good morning from all of our friends over here at Yolush, and you need to come down and check it out for yourself. I think we've enticed you enough this early in the morning. We'll see you soon. Lucia, listen. I think I'm the most re-energized right now, right here. And of course, this is Chef Orlando. I don't think he needed a long introduction, but we are officially at Orlando's. So we are here to take in the experience. And Chef, good morning to you.
Good morning. Welcome to the Best Kept Secrets.
Yes. And you know, there's one thing. So first of all, we need to know about the Orlando's experience. And I have been told and have experienced the 5 keys to Orlando, right?
5 keys to Orlando's.
So St. Lucia needs to know what that is.
So the idea actually is that we don't want you to come for food at Orlando's. We want you to come for an experience. And so the experience starts when you enter the door. We greet and meet you. We will welcome you with a welcome drink. We will offer you a cold towel. And of course, you know, the ladies, you cannot value money if it's on the floor. So we got a handbag stand, which the guys can put a cap on. And of course, we give a welcome taster from the kitchen.
So, you know,
A couple more things to go.
these are the little elements that really just, you know, start to create an experience for you.
Yes.
And I know you try to do a lot here at Orlando's.
Well, again, you know, I haven't been a chef now 30 years or more. My belief as a chef is that we come to the islands and we should be experiencing the best of the islands.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think there's so much more ingredients available to us. So that my concept now is called food to cuisine. Food is what we eat when you're hungry. Cuisine is what you experience at Orlando's.
All right.
Yeah. So, and that means that we're going to give you things which are not normally done with certain things. Things like seared tuna on watermelon, you know, or maybe we'll do a coleslaw, but we'll put our brown pepper into it, and we, you know, different twists on that.
So, Chef, you have about 30 years, as you mentioned, of experience. Where did your, and I have to say it this way, but your culinary love affair start?
You know, my mother is Jamaican. My father is Barbadian. I was born in Birmingham, England, and I moved to London. And it started a long time ago, actually, when my mom showed, I went to the kitchen one day, and I started looking at stuff, and she started saying, "Oh, but you like to cook." She stopped cooking. So I must say my mom has been my biggest influence, and so that's where it started from. But I'm really believing that I'm a chef on a mission. My mission is to bring Caribbean cuisine to international recognition, equal to the French, the Portuguese, the Spanish, that's the mission.
And I think that speaks volumes. Now, you know, just to get to know you a little bit better, what is at least maybe 2 of your favorite ingredients, or maybe your top 3 ingredients to work with?
Well, one of my top ingredients is plantain. I mean, I'm surprised. Most people they call it platina. In Singapore, miso tundu, which is when I was in Singapore, and it's such an amazing ingredient. You can do so much with it. You know, I do plantain salsa, plantain soups, plantain salads, plantain cups, plantain baskets, plantain desserts. I mean, the plantain list goes on and on.
Wow.
And there's so much you can do with it, because there's a nice sweetness to it. Yeah? And everything I love to use, obviously, as well, is thyme. The element of thyme, THY, is an element of the herb. But you take away TIM, it becomes thyme, element of food. So I love to use that concept as well of thyme.
But I mean, with your career journey thus far, all the experiences, adventures, I can only imagine, what would you say right now is the most memorable experience that you've had in this journey?
Well, you know, I gotta tell you that I'm a chef on a mission, and I've had a few memorable journeys. My biggest thing was that I cooked at this place in New York called James Beard Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
which I was the first St. Lucian chef to be to showcase my cuisine there. I mean, that for me has set the tone. But equally, it was quite interesting that I have my own restaurant. I mean, I've seen it in myself for quite a while to do my restaurant. It's a challenge. Boy, it's a challenge. But the fact that I've actually managed to be here 5 years, still paying the bills, still trying to, serve the foods. We have, people come from around the world who kind of come looking for me, which speaks volumes.
Right.
I mean, and it's not just because, and for me, that's an element of Soufriere. If people could come to Soufriere now, discover Soufriere, oh, by the way, we have Orlando's there, perfect, because at least that raise the profile of Soufriere more. You were out today, my friend's place, Tic Tac, and this is a nice way of where Soufriere should be going. We're a location that sells the island all over. Take away Soufriere from St. Lucia, what have you got? You got Mirkwood, you got Gros-Islet. Yes, you have, but you haven't got the pitons. So that said, we are the face of St. Lucia, and of course I also wear the face, and of course the body is in Rodney Bay, and the feet are in Vieux Fort when you land.
I love that. Well, you know what, Chef? Thank you so much for taking the time out to be here with us and give us that experience. So, St. Lucia, you guys need to come out and have the Orlando experience for yourself. Come experience the 5 keys to Orlando.
5 keys to Orlando.
And of course, see that you watch this morning. I'm telling you, you'll get extra love. They'll just give you that extra oomph. So you know what? There's plenty of love happening here, and that's what it's all about. Good vibes, positivity. So remember that, and we'll see you soon. Welcome back, family. Thank you very much for joining. So this morning has returned. We're not going to leave you hanging any longer. Yesterday was a celebration of the life of Mr. Gandolph St. Clair, who was such an advocate for the arts and the movement right here in St. Lucia. And a fitting send-off is the only thing I can say that was done for him. And everybody was there to pay their respects. If you weren't able to make it, or even if you were, here's how it unfolded. And of course, truly just a celebration.
Well, we started off with a cultural parade of artists and drummers, and the hosts followed the drum. And when we got to the city hall, the artists carried the coffin. That is a sort of a traditional way of, I remember we used to do that long ago, and they carried him all to the church with the drumming and singing to signify a celebration.
Well, I got to know Gandolph in the 70s when I went down to Vieux Fort. That's why I met him. Don't ask me exactly what year, I can't tell you, but it would have been the earlier part of the 70s. And I was a bit surprised that I met a guy who was interested in poetry, who was quoting Walcott to me, Cities Death by Fire, I remember distinctly, and that he was trying to write poetry. And then I started talking to him about different types of poetry, modern poetry, and I recommended readings to him. And what I was impressed with, he would go to the library and so and get the books, as I remember. I remember speaking to him about The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot. And he went and he showed me one day that he had a copy of it and how he found the poem. And he had his own inimitable style. You couldn't copy Randolph. But we really got closer together when we did The Haitian Earth. That was in about 1984, I think it was. And I played Christophe to his Dessalines, and we were directed by Derek Walcott. You might be too young to remember the production on the Moan at the OECS compound. That's where it was staged, I think, August 1st. But afterwards, we were always very close together.
The two of us founded and managed a theatre called One Love Theatre. Gandolph founded it, so then I joined him, and I directed and managed it for many, many years. And One Love Theatre Workshop was like a parent of popular theatre in St. Lucia. Developed a strong popular theatre movement in communities all over St. Lucia and so on, throughout the 70s, late 70s, going throughout the 80s, etc. That's one. I also knew him as cultural workers at the Cultural Development Foundation. During my years as executive director, Gandolph was one of the most senior officers of the Cultural Development Foundation. And in my artistic side. We are both theatre person, theatre lovers, directors, and so on. We work with each other on many different projects, etc. And he's a writer, one of our foremost and prolific writers in St. Lucia. So we go back a long way, you know. And I think probably there's a useful side to the deaf, as ironic as that may sound, is that St. Lucia wakes out to the breadth of Gandalf's work and contribution to the arts, to community development, you know, to writing in St. Lucia, to theatre in St. Lucia, etc.
My upcoming with him, well, I lived with him until I was 11 years old and I moved up to Canada. As you can see, he's a really great man. He did a lot for the country. Like, look at all you can see. Yes. I love him very much and I miss him.
I'm his cousin. Very great guy, nice person, calm, gentle spirit, and he did a lot for St. Lucia, and he will be greatly missed.
A denizen of Castries and grew up right around my area. I know him from Calypso, I know him from Carnival, I know him from just being around, you know. Talking to him almost every day. I couldn't miss this for anything, man. This one really, and this send-off is really moving, man. The thing brought tears to my eyes. It's to see the sort of spirit that is generated. Everybody appears to be touched by this. You see the cross-section of people there, man? The cross-section from regular folks in the road to those policymakers in St. Lucia. That's how you live.
One thing that was definitely glaring, but in a positive way, was the broad spectrum of persons who were present to pay their last respects to Mr. St. Clair. And I think that's something that we all can take a page out of his book for. So be an advocate, pursue the things that you love, and not to mention, no matter what walks of life people come from, be a people's person, be there for everybody. You are your brother's keeper. So with that, we also pay our last respects to Mr. St. Clair. We'll be right back.